It's
be less?
persistently, so on a monthly basis, I publish top 10 DeFi attack vectors and private key compromise, multi-sig hijacking, insider threat more recently. These are all operational security issues. So they are persistent. Like this is something that will always be there. It would be, I think there was a rare year that Price Oracle kicked them out, and Price Oracle was higher than private key theft. But if you zoom out even more, when we come up with these statistics, we're mostly looking at projects, like individual DeFi projects. And then you see operational security issues for users themselves, which send funds to these, the poison transactions where you get this doppelganger, like similar looking transaction. And people send millions of dollars to something that you would imagine people would be able to cash. It's very difficult to solve those things. And I think the only way we can approach it is with the benefit of the industry we're in. So I think so far we've been trying to solve things with like, traditional security, you have this annual phishing training. Like you have to, once a year, you sit down and you learn about phishing. Okay, guys, make sure you do not click on links in the email. Okay. Make sure that if someone calls you and tells you it's support, do not tell them your password. Okay. So a few days later, you forget everything that you heard there, and then it's gone. And then the best solution that people came up with, they started building tooling to see if there's exfiltration happening or filters, technical solutions to people weaknesses that we may never be able to solve. So the challenge to the industry, what are the technical solutions that we can offer to solve operational weaknesses in specific to our industry? So we already came up with multi-sig, but we gave people multi-sig and we didn't enable time locks and we didn't enable guardians. We didn't enable sufficiently like enforcement of thresholds. So we gave them this tool and made them feel good. And then we said, good luck. You also need to do this, this, and this, but we didn't enable it by default. Why not? Would Bybit would have happened if there was just a delay of 24 hours? Would that happen if there was some kind of circuit breaker that said if you're about to transfer 100% of your treasury, that may require an additional input? So there are things that we're people, we're flawed, and it's unfair often to say like, if it wasn't this one intern that messed up, we would have been fine. I think the question is, what can you as an organization think through, and what controls you can build ahead of time, anticipating that we're all flawed and that attackers are getting more and more sophisticated. There was a case with a traditional bank, which I find hilarious, where they cloned CEO's voice, and they called one of the trading desk with this cloned voice and told the trading desk to transfer, I forgot how many millions immediately. And just on this voice authority, the banker transferred those funds. At least in our industry, we're paranoid enough that someone, if I don't know who would call us, if Vitalik calls you, if it sounds like Vitalik, it tells you that he's stuck in some country if he needs $1 million quick, at least you already know you have awareness to question that. Or even better, if you're about to transfer it and you have intelligence that the address that you're sending to is, for example, has 0 transactions, or the address you're sending to was flagged somewhere, or for you to release funds, it requires signatures that you can collect, or some delay after a certain threshold. Maybe there's the additional guardrails that can be built around this similar theme that you cannot just release millions of dollars because your CEO called you. So that's where I'm thinking of operational security, less of blaming people and more thinking through what kind of safety nets we can provide.